Hey, it's Creative Mom Kamala here with Creative Moms Decant, and I am beta testing the xtool Creative Space software, and I want to show you how easy it is to engrave a cutting board using your xtool. So these are the shapes, and these are your rectangle, circle, and line. So you know me, I like to start with templates. The cutting board I'm going to engrave using the xtool is rectangle, so I'm going to make myself a rectangle. I started sideways. I'll flip it here in a second. Um, I did a conversion table that I've also shared on the xtool community, and it went vertical. But basically what we're going to do here is grab some text, and I'm going to show you how to put it on. So ignore all lines, which if you ask me is very different from a Cricut design person, but we're going to ignore all the lines. We're going to grab some text. So once you click the text, I'm pausing because I have to click somewhere on the screen and then the text box pops up. So just click the screen and type the text that you want. And you just resize. You also have your height and your width at the top. These are your font choices. All of your fonts that you've purchased or downloaded for free are available. So just, you'll have those if you are a current user of, one of those softwares and you've bought fonts. So I'm going to grab a font here. I am hooked on this Hello Honey font. It's one of my favorites. It's a $15 buy from fonts, like design bundles, font bundles. So I love it. All right, so I'm just checking kind of where I want it and my placement here. And then I may add some more text. And it's so super simple. You just remember to click the canvas, scroll through here and find some text. That's always the worst part. I'm gonna go with my Hello Honey that I'm just in love with right now. So Crumb, and then the Honey has some heart fonts, and that's a video for another day. Let's get this placed on here, and I'm going to show you how to insert a shape.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you...
So image and open. And I am going to use my chicken, which is not correct here, but I have shared it correctly in the creative space. So my hand-drawn chicken is in creative space. I'm going to show you real quick where it's at. So this is going to be live very soon, so I'll go into detail on how the site works coming up really soon. But basically, I'm going to attach the correct file now real quick, and then I'll show you. But this is where you share projects, which is, of course, super fun. I love that about the Cricut community, so I'm super excited that the xtool is going to do that. So let me submit that. This is the home. So this is like my home, what I've shared, projects that you can use. And it's under my making and inspiration here. And I did accidentally share one twice anyway. Things happen. So if you go home here, though, right now they have the Thanksgiving contest, and then this is inspiration from other people, and you can like these projects, you can save them, you can use them. All right, not what this video is about. Let's go back to our creative space with xtool. So this image is by me, Joyful Creations by Kamala Crum. And I inserted the image by clicking up here in the top left corner where it says image, and then grabbed it from my downloads because I just gave it to you, so you're downloading it, but wherever you're getting your image. And then I'm going to play with resizing here. The easiest way to get started with xtool is to use xtool supplies. So yes, I'm using my own cutting board for this project, one I had in the kitchen, so if I wasted it, I'm still using it. And I am going to choose then more fonts because, I have to dip and play. I'm a creative person. But I'm going to go over to the far right panel and I'm going to choose under material, wood. That's what we're going to engrave on, is wood. Okay, so we are back here in my office, and the box and all of that is stories for another day. But I did, of course, have to, pull out a few things. So I know it's kind of oily and stained. It is our cutting board that we're using, and I engraved this side. And I learned lots of things by doing this because I burnt too deep for a cutting board. But on the back, it didn't bother me. But we're going to engrave the other side. So let's go back into the software for just a moment and let's talk about it for a second. So right over here, and I know I change designs because that's what I do. And that's that font that I was telling you. I'll see if I can link it. And let's go down here. So basically you want your materials here set to plywood and check your lines. So make sure that, like, my chickens are definitely going to be an engrave. That's what they are. As I get better, we'll add more. And then make sure that these lines are set where you want them as well. So this one I have set to score. Let me move you over here. And the words here I have set to engrave. And that is all you really have to know. So ignore everything else. All you need to know is set your material, score, engrave, and cut, and make sure that each of these have settings. If they do, or they will if you use material settings that are already preloaded for you. If you decide to use different material or custom settings, you have to change that. I'm having great success by using the xtool settings. I am mostly doing xtool material. However, today we're going to do this cutting board. Y'all, I'm not going to lie. I don't always have faith in my husband, but he's right. Everything I want to engrave is going to work. We're going to easily be able to put this on risers, which came with the kit that I bought. I'm super excited. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is back to the computer, and you're going to line this laser up on the screen. I'll show you. We hit process. This is the screen it brings you to. So from here, you can move your laser up here with these 4 pointers. So watch my laser. You're in my view. Is it moving? No. All right, so it's working out good. And that's how you decide where to place it. I also am storing a ruler inside this box so that I can measure things. So once it's placed exactly where I want it, then you're going to choose framing. Don't do anything else. Choose framing. I'll explain more on this later, but choose framing. And then you'll see my light down there is flashing. Let's go inside. So framing is going to map out exactly where it's going to put the project. So I definitely need to move my project this way. Watch the frame again. All right, let's move it and then we'll be ready to start. All right, let's start this thing. So I'm gonna choose start right here at the top. Again, the flashing light's going off, so I'm going to push start. And I'm going to shut my lid, and we're going to have a little talk for a second. All right, so that is it. You all, it is that easy to turn out your engravings. I highly recommend a box. I'm going to have tons more tips and tricks coming so soon. I am overwhelmed with how crazy this thing is and how productive it is. Super, super excited. I thought the software was horrific when I started. I really did. But after I started playing with it, I realized it's not that difficult. And by the time I finished filming this video, I have got to work with xtool, which is crazy. And they are taking our suggestions in their community seriously. So I'm pretty jazzed to report that. More on my xtool and my crafting business coming soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a joyful day, friends. Bye.